get excited! She's laughing at me. Just got hit on my head. Stupid branch. Yo, hello. Say hi. Dude, why?
I'm just kidding.
Wow. This is my YouTube channel. You can finger your own fans. Yo.
Finger my fans.
I love all of you. Anyway, yo, welcome to, what are we doing today? What are we doing? Hip thrusts. Okay, so, funny thing, I got a big booty. Pretty fucking big. And I've gotten it really to this point, if you can believe it, without hip thrusting. Hip thrusting, glute bridging.
BBL.
Yeah, BBL. But no, seriously, I have never actually been a fan of hip thrusting until I met her. And as you see, this woman here, she's like, well, can hip lift a fucking crane. It's ridiculous. I think like all women can hip lift like an absurd amount of weight.
If they train for it, yes.
Due to
It's not a natural capability.
Well, dude, I don't know, man. You know, so anyway, so I've just recently gotten into hip lifting, and dude, it is actually, it's game changing. It's fucking game changing. You know, I'm a glute isolator, so I like doing kickbacks. Across the street, dude. Oh, she's always so scared to cross the street. Dude. Anyway, so today we're going to take you guys along a hip lifting session. We're going to hit a volume. How many sets are we going to do?
9 or 12.
9 or 12 sets. Yeah. And we're going to give you tips and tricks. She's going to give most of them. I'm going to be the sexy model. And we're going to get this pancake into a peach. Because hip lifting is key, and it's just so good for general health as well. So
glute recruit.
Something's in my eye.
TM.
Okay, we're gonna cut quick. We gotta cut this. This scene's way too long.
This is important. So glute recruit is when you get the most muscle tissue working at one time. So for glute isolation. Oh,
dude, we exercise the soul, man. I'm
true.
grateful for life. I love life. Beautiful bystander. Okay, anyway, we'll see you in there. Alrighty, so before every workout, what do we do?
Warm up.
We warm up. If you're not warming up, oh man, what should I say if you're not warming up? What's nice?
The thing is, if you don't preheat the muscle, the car's not going to run.
If you don't preheat the muscle, the car's not going to run. Fucking warm up. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so what I like to do for my warm up is foam roll. I got this guy right here, which is my hyper ice. It's just deadly, can get right into the muscle. Brownie likes to do her hip openers and shit like that.
90.
We're actually gonna do another vlog on hip opening. I think that'd be super dope because I need it. So anyway, I like to spend 10 to 15 minutes getting the car warm, as we just discussed, before we slay some hip thrusts. Stay tuned, warm up.
Okay guys, so here is part of our dynamic warm-up. Hi sweetie! So this is pulsing butterfly. So what you want to do is actually pull your heels closer to your bum if you can, and then gently pulse your knees towards the floor like a butterfly, gently increasing the range of motion each and every time. I do this for about 2 minutes. He's gonna do about 10 minutes of this. See how you're doing 10 minutes. See how high those knees are? Those knees have to basically touch the ground. So the whole purpose of this then is to put, oh yeah, the knees need to basically touch the ground by the end. It's crack smoke. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. So basically the adductors, so the inner thigh tissue is really tight, which is restricting the range of motion here for the knee. So by creating the tiny pulses, I'm not even finished my explanation.
All right, so we're warmed up. We have found where we are going to battle. There she is, setting her up. And it's gonna be good, man. We're gonna hit this in a volume fashion. So we're gonna be doing 2 warm-up sets to just kind of get our bearings, get our grounding, get mind-muscle connection going. And then we're gonna hit 6 working sets. And we'll probably increase the load as we go along.
By 50 pounds per
How much?
increment. 50 pounds per increase.
50, ooh, time to go. So this is cool. I wanna show this. So hold on. When you're hip lifting, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a bench or a soft box?
Yeah.
I like the soft box. I like a soft box.
People are more comfortable on the box.
Yeah, but you can use a bench as well. How high should it be? Like how high? That's always.
Okay, your hips. So you shouldn't be down here or up here.
Right.
You need to have vertical shins and parallel knee to chest. So for me and other average height people, this is a perfect size box to be able to go into full drop to extension.
Perfect. All right, let's hit these warm-ups.
Yeah.
Major burn, reporting for booty.
Oh, here we go. Listen up, Major.
Okay,
So,
let me say something. See, the reason why I don't like hip lifting is because I find it so awkward to get
yeah,
into.
it's a weird setup if you have very large legs, but
Like, this is like,
figure it out.
you know,
Yeah.
but just no excuses, man.
Figure it out.
But see, this would be heavy with like heavy fucking weight.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see the box setup is proper because at the top here, we're completely neutral spine, vertical shins, heels are in the right place. You want toes turned out at about 2 o'clock, and then the, as I mentioned, vertical shins, knees tracking over toes, so knees tracking slightly out. Smaller range of motion. So Nunz here performs more of a KAS, K-A-S, glute bridge rather than a traditional hip thrust. So we've shortened the range of motion to lessen the intra-abdominal pressure because it's a little bit more painful. So a lot of males experience this due to their anatomy and their setup. So oftentimes for guys, thanks to the D, oftentimes for guys, in order to be able to hit decent weight, we have to reduce range of motion. We don't want to go quite as deep. It's a generalization, but it makes sense. Excellent.
I'm gonna hold.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Hold it there all the way. So what we're performing now, you guys, is known as an isometric hold at the top of the exercise. So maximum time under tension, at maximal tension, is just going to afford you far better gains far sooner. The end.
Boom. Let's go.
Anyways, okay, so guys, traditionally in a glute bridge then, and what you didn't see with the KAS glute bridge, is the deeper range of motion. So remember, the lower you go, the harder it is to keep your anterior pelvic tilt, which means that under too much pressure and not enough tension and sort of technique and practice, you would drop your pelvis towards the floor.
It's too low.
Your
You see that?
would come undone. You see
Yeah.
the way the tummy pops
Yeah.
out? Can't have that. So hips anteriorly tilted.
That's
flat
good.
Tummy, flat back.
It's
Once
loaded.
you hit that bottom point, now you're able to drag back up with
Perfect.
plenty of power, right?
Show the incorrect again.
So
Watch it. Watch
basically,
this.
You would see your tummy bubble,
Yeah.
and you would see your back arch, and that means that you don't have the control yet to be able to go that deep. So KAS glute bridge is more appropriate.
And that's what I was doing
This is
earlier before. The shorter range. Show that.
so
Boom.
short range.
You see how it's
like
all
so,
tucked
which
in?
allows like more overall glute recruit.
Glute recruit.
But in this
Major
case,
booty.
we're gonna get a deeper range of motion. It gives us more power. It's like using a runway to start up.
Yeah.
So a little bit more weight can be loaded this way because we have that big driving force.
Second warm-up set. Let's go. So this is another way of getting up that I actually like more.
Oh,
It's for me, it's easier.
this is gnarly. Probably don't try that at home. You'll hurt your back.
Well, if you got like stupid weight on, but for this,
Most people can't lift that from that position. But anyways, so here we've moved on to our first working set. So our warm-up set was about 40% of our max. So lightweight. Here we're using about 50% of our max, and we've decreased our reps. Mine went from 12 to 10. His are going probably from 15 to 12. So 12 reps here at 50% is gonna give us a nice little secondary pump to the warm up. We'll do 3 sets like this, and then we'll increase by another 50 pounds to get about 65% of our max. So remember, as we fatigue too, we lose the ability to control the weight appropriately quite as much. So that's why we're gently pyramiding up, because we're not going heavy today, keeping it light and tight. And there's that isometric hold. Well done. Parallel shins. You see that? Gently drop.
and then keep filming.
Oh, what
Like a
next?
superset with.
Oh, so move that drinky drink. So single leg hip thrust with a light dumbbell on the leg, which remains on the ground. So we want to, again, parallel shins, you see, and then extend the kicking leg and then drive it up to 90 degrees as you go into hip extension. So this is a fun little burner then after you've maxed out your capacity for barbell hip thrust. You get these little guys and they burn just as well. Trust, don't toss your head back, sweetie. Keep your chin tucked.
I'm tired.
Neutral spine. I don't care her time.
Wow, these hip lifts, man, they fucking get me, dude. That's why you just gotta, like, you know, a lot of times you gotta force yourself to do the things you don't want to do, because that's how you grow, you know. If you always do the things you like doing, I mean, how are you gonna fucking grow from that, right? So, you know, hip lifts are something that I've been pushing myself to do, and they've been paying dividends, dude. Big motherfucking ass. I got big, in the mirror here. I got a big mead, which is the shelf, and then the max, which is the under part. That's what the hip lifts work a lot here. So, gotta incorporate if you want that voluptuous peach. What are we doing here?
Oh, we're gonna chuck on another 50 pounds. So this
We're going
is
up.
exciting because it's a new weight for your boy over here.
It's a new weight.
We're gonna end up hitting 235 for 12 reps. So we're gonna match our previous rep, which will take us to 75% of our max, which is what we want to achieve in a volume day, somewhere around 120 reps and 8 sets at 75% volume at the end.
All right.
Go. Okay, team, so as previously mentioned, we are not going light today. In fact, our top set is here. We're matching our previous rep count of 12. This is known as volume training. So a total of 8 sets and fairly high reps takes us to a large overall rep count, but not a super large weight, as you can see. And most people start with their top set first and period down. The reason why I don't like to do that is when you gradually increase the weight and decrease the rep, or not, keep the same rep, it's a true test to how strong you actually are. So think about it this way. With a full tank of gas, we can do pretty much anything. But when you really test yourself is when you're already fatigued. And if you're able to do that well and not compromise the integrity of your lift, oh, these are the bad girls. So the abduction of the knee, just to make sure the glute stays firing. So anyways, bad girl, as I was saying, try testing out your top set at the end of all of the sets rather than at the beginning, just to really test yourself. That's how we do it around here at Nunzziii headquarters.
Major burn, booty reporting.
Reporting for booty. Oh my God, it's so wet. Look at that.
One thing I wanted to mention as well when hip lifting, I love a traditional barbell. I think it's the most effective. You can do dumbbell, but you're gonna have dumbbell's easy for just like setup and shit, but can't really do a lot of load. And then you have like hip lift machines, kind of like that one there. And I don't like that shit because the machines don't fit your body and your mechanics, and they're built for like, I don't know what they build them for, but they're built for like standard shit. So that's why I'm all about the barbell. You like barbell hip lift the best?
I actually really want to give my 2 cents on which type of hip thrust is a little bit more appropriate. So check this out. When you use a barbell, because you spread the weight distally across the distance, you're able to lift a lot more weight. However, it's less concentrated. So depending on your goal, do both barbell and dumbbell. Stay away from the preloaded machines. I don't like those either. But basically, when you place a heavy 120-pound dumbbell directly on your hips, the weight then is directly in your glutes. See, when the weight is out here, it's less isolating, but you get more volume and you get more strength that way. So I would start barbell hip thrust, max out on that, and then move to dumbbell for a very different feeling.
There you go, man. Getting all the tips from BB Brownie, the hip lift champion. I'm gonna hit my last set. We're gonna wrap it up. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the fruits of our labor. Look at that pump. So due to the technique used, we have increased blood flow to the muscle, we have filled it up, and we're experiencing a lovely pump. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, guys, that was a great hip lifting session. I am so grateful to have the hip lifting queen right here. And I thought as we wrap it up, why don't you give Bronwyn 5 key tips to people who are hip lifting? What's the first most important thing?
Oh, most important thing by far is neutral pelvis.
Neutral pelvis.
So keep the hips tucked up towards the ribs.
And we showed you that. Remember when you could see the belly come out when the pelvis.
If your belly pops, you're in
Okay,
trouble.
number two.
Oh, geez. Hold it at the top. So
Yeah, the isometric holds.
At least 2 seconds at the top.
Isometric holds are great all around for any muscle group, by the way, FYI.
Minimum 2
but
seconds.
okay. Third tip would be, I'd say, make sure you have an appropriate height. You don't want to be too high or too low. You want to really find that nice height.
Completely vertical.
Yep.
And then number 4, similarly to that, then would be vertical shins. So from your ankle to your knee is
making sure that's
stacked up to make sure
straight
the
line.
alignment. Otherwise, you'll hurt your knee. And fifthly, and most of all, have fun.
Have fun.
It's not that bad.
I was gonna say pick appropriate weight, but yes, have a great time because
the weight, whatever weight for you is appropriate. There is no top number to hip lifting, and that's why I love it. Because you can go upwards of 500, 800 pounds sometimes, and you can do so safely because of the way that you position yourself and because how strong your glutes are capable.
There we go. I love you guys. It's your boy Nunzziii, BB Brownie Nunzziii YouTube. Subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm always having a good time regardless. I appreciate you. I love you. Until next time, get excited. Subscribe, baby. It's a great time.